Hello, welcome back to Bourbon Bartender. My name's Ari Rahimzadeh. You can just call me Ari. And today we're going to talk about the 2024 Advent Calendar from Naptown Bourbon Club, day number 5, where they give you a hint at the beginning of the day and then they tell you what it is at the end. So if you don't know about Naptown Bourbon Club, all the proceeds go to charities. I actually don't know which charity this one goes to, the Advent Calendar. But all like the bottle picks, the barrel picks, they all go there. So anyway, today I'm going to be doing the tasting on Lick, as I always do. That's the app that I built that I saw a bunch of apps out there. None of them really did what I wanted from a tasting and a collection perspective. So I'm a software engineer. I just built it myself. So when you download Lick, that's something I wrote. It's professionally hosted. I've been a software architect for a long time. So it's not like my first project. I hope you use it and enjoy it. And of course, if you have any features, just let me know. I'll look at adding them. It's a side project for me. It's a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to community involvement because I really built it for everyone. Okay, so I've already created the tasting and Lick. The hint today, according to Greg, is a rare pour that celebrates well on a spirit holiday such as today. A toast to this breed of avian species and national treasure. So the consensus in the chat was it's either Eagle Rare or Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Now, what's going to break the tie for me on this one, I'm going to go with Eagle Rare. I haven't tasted it yet. It's sitting here waiting to be tried, day number 5. It certainly has the color of Eagle Rare, but then again, a lot of bourbon looks similar. It says national treasure. And I don't know that the turkey is a national treasure as much as the bald eagle. All right. I also need to mute my notifications. There we go. So I'm going to go ahead and pour it. We'll nose, palate, and finish. Oop, cute little bottles. One thing I do like about this is I'm getting a whole bunch of tasting bottles out of it. Yesterday's, by the way, which I skipped, was the Sagamore Double Oaked Rye. Yum, yum, yum. I love Sagamore's ryes, but I haven't been able to do this every day, so I'm just skipping day 4 and jumping into day 5. Maybe I'll be surprised with Eagle Rare. And today's glass is the Fred Minnick the Fred Minnick Show glass. So I'm a member of Club Marzipan, really cool club. Fred's a great guy, teaches you a ton about not just tasting, but bourbon and whiskey history. So if you really want to learn about this, the industry, the history, in addition to just tastings and reviews, then definitely join Club Marzipan. Just so much fun, great people, great community. All right, boop, 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 boop. All right, now, as I've said before, your palate is affected by whatever you've eaten during the day, in addition to your own personal preferences. So I'm still eating turkey leftovers, so not too long ago I had mashed potatoes and smoked turkey. Whether the smoke will affect my taste buds, who knows? It smells like Eagle Rare. It has those traditional caramel and vanilla notes. Oh, I should have put my laptop on mute. I'm getting hit up by my HOA. We have a whole bunch of messages coming through. All right, I'm going to go with caramel, vanilla, And I will mute my laptop. Some people need to learn to just send one message, not 10 at a time. But it's all good. I'm not naming names, so don't get mad at me. Yeah, so caramel, vanilla cherry. Really mostly vanilla and cherry. And some caramel, a little bit of oak. So I'm going to go with caramel, vanilla. I wonder if I should add a feature where I can just separate things by commas and add it real quick. I'm gonna make a note to do that because that sounds like a cool feature, kind of like a pro feature. I do have a day job, people, but I love doing this. So if you think that's a cool idea where you can just quickly, using commas, let me know. Let me know in the comments. All right. So let's get to the palate. Yeah. You have Eagle Rare enough times. It's just like, I'd be really surprised if this is Wild Turkey Rare Breed. Ooh, oak, vanilla, spice. Maybe a rye spice, but I'm going to go more like baking spice. I hate the term baking spice, and the reason I hate the term baking spice isn't because it's a terrible note. It's that when I first started getting into whiskey and bourbon, every review said baking spice. And my friends and I would joke that every time we drank any whiskey of any kind, including bourbon, of course, and pretty much any spirit, we'd say, yeah, baking spice. It got very annoying. Yeah, that oak. The vanilla, the spice, maybe a little. It's not dark fruit. Yeah, the vanilla, the spice, the caramel, that sits on the finish, and the oak. So same, vanilla, oak, vanilla, oak, and just like regular oak, not sweet oak, baking spice, maybe some rye, that rye spice, but yeah, it's got a medium finish. So I'm almost 100% convinced this is Eagle Rare. I mean, everything about this is what I remember from Eagle Rare. It is not my daily drinker, but Eagle Rare is good. I don't think it's like $70 a bottle of secondary good, but it's a wonderful $30 bottle. I think even up to $50. Although at $50, I think there's some better options out there. But this is just all those quintessential bourbon notes, especially rye bourbon notes. And it's just very good, and it's very versatile. You could have it neat, you could have it on a rock. It's not high proof. It sits around. What's Eagle Rare sit around? It's 90, I think. I could be wrong. I'm sure I've got a bottle of Eagle Rare here somewhere. If I look, I've got. Yeah, I do somewhere. Oh, there it is. There's an Eagle Rare. This is the store pick. This is the 21st Amendment store pick. 90, yeah, I was right. Okay, so, yeah, Eagle Rare. And you know what? Just for the halibut, I'm going to go behind the bar, grab another glass. I'll grab another Glencairn just so I'm not cheating. This will be an Old Forester Glencairn. I've got like 40 Glencairns, and I just collect them. I used to do that with wine, where I would go to different wineries, and oh wow, I haven't opened this in a while. Clearly, ooh, please cork, do not fall off. I'll try a little. No, maybe more than a little. Yep. I mean, it's almost the same color. I mean, it is the same color. There's more in this glass. Yeah. Yeah, it smells the same. Yeah. I mean, it's a store pick, but, you know. So cherry notes come out more on this one. So that dark fruit. Yeah. Yeah. If that comes back wild turkey, I'll buy someone a drink. I won't buy everyone a drink, but I'll buy them a drink up to $50. So that should cover pretty much anything except like Pappy 20-something. Yeah. So anyway, I'm going with Eagle Rare. I think I've sanity checked it enough. And gosh, I don't want to dump these, but I also need to go out tonight. So I gotta be kind to my liver. Welcome back. Okay, we found out what it is. I had to eat crow a little bit. It's wild turkey rare breed. I'm completely surprised because I tried Eagle Rare right next to another Eagle Rare pick. So that made me start looking into why is it so similar. I couldn't find a copy, I mean, other than the bottle that was in front of me, obviously. A bottle of wild turkey rare breed in my home. I know I had one, but it must be gone. So I looked at the mash bills, and this is interesting. This is a great time to talk about mash bills because you always have 51% corn and then more, right? So it could be 70% corn, 90% corn, whatever, certain amount of rye or wheat plus malted barley, what have you. And then, of course, there's other mash bills, 4-grain, etc. So comparing wild turkey rare breed, it's only about a 5% difference. 75% corn on rare breed, 70% corn on Eagle Rare. 13% rye on rare breed, 17% rye on Eagle Rare, and then 12% malted barley on rare breed, and then 13% malted barley on Eagle Rare. Now, obviously, the proof is different, so this threw me off because now rare breed often doesn't drink like a 117 proof. This one, I believe, was 116.8. Eagle Rare is 90 proof. So just looking at tasting notes that are common, flavor profiles, the tasting notes are actually very similar when I looked it up across reviews, etc. I don't have my own review of wild turkey. So this was an interesting tasting because the mash bills are so similar while the age statement is different. Rare breed is 6, 8, and 12 year wild turkey. And then Eagle Rare obviously is just 10 years. I mean, it's right there on the bottle. Of course, rare breed is a lot easier to find. So given how similar it is tasted, maybe wild turkey is your good alternative, or pardon me, rare breed, wild turkey rare breed to Eagle Rare. So I mean, I'm willing to owe someone a pour, and I already had someone hit me up in the Bourbon Club. So yeah, definitely interesting. I'm curious how the yeast affects this. The difference between like the Russell Brothers and the yeast they use for the wild turkey, and then of course what Buffalo Trace uses with Eagle Rare. So I mean the yeast makes a difference. Just ask anyone who knows Old Crow. So great. Well, lesson learned for today. Had a great time. This was fun. See you at the next video, and happy holidays.